So I'm in my basement, and what you see here are the stocks of my Amazon business that I was not able to sell. Now these are 600 units of microfiber towels, and this is just half of the stock. The remaining half is in a warehouse in Texas. Now these are 100% microfiber towels that I sourced at a price of $7 per unit from China. Now each of them has this magnet that you can use to hold your towel by attaching them to the surface of the gym machines. So your hands are free to use and you don't have to think about your towels getting dirty. Well, pretty cool concept if you ask me about it. But was this concept marketable? That's another story. Now, I started my Amazon store in 2021. If you follow my channel, you would probably be thinking, wait, he's a Wall Street banker and a chartered accountant. Why did he start an e-commerce business related to towels to begin with? And why is he talking about his losses so openly? Well, let's start by answering the second question first. Why do I talk about my losses so openly? It is because I believe in transparency around money. Now, money is a controversial subject. From my personal side, I have made some money on investments, but also lost a bunch trying new things, like this Amazon store. Financial losses by itself hurt a lot, but they also provide learning opportunities. These opportunities can help other people avoid the same mistakes that I did, so they can be a bit more closer to success. I do not gain anything from sharing my story. In fact, many people will criticize me in the comments, but as long as it helps someone, I'm okay with it. So, why did I start the Amazon business to begin with? In a summary, it was an epiphany that I had. I made some extra income by trading in shares, so I wanted to invest that in a business to diversify my income. However, I had a pre-criteria to invest in a business idea under a niche that I was passionate about. And that was my mistake number one. Just because you're passionate about a subject does not mean it's a good business idea. Adequate research is needed to ensure there is money to be made amongst all competition. Now, working out is one of my passions. I religiously work out 4 to 5 days a week. One of the issues that I found was that I always had to carry my own towels in public gyms, and when I was working out, I found it difficult to keep my towel somewhere. So I came up with the idea of adding magnets to my towels. This way you can attach your towels to the gym machines and it would not touch the floor and be hygienic. At that time, I liked the idea so much that I was sold that this would be a successful business model. After all, everybody is concerned about their hygiene in the gym and nobody wants to see the towels get soiled, right? So this idea should work. Well, I was sure that I had found a new Shark Tank worthy idea that would one day transform into a giant business. Well, that was my mistake number two. Never assume what your customers like. You will be shocked to see your preferences be completely different from your customers. The better way would have been to join gym and sports communities online and showcase my idea. People would have provided me the feedback and chances are majority would have told me that the magnet did not entice them. But instead, the first thing that I did was create an LLC and registered a trademark of the product. Now, I spent hours coming up with the name of the brand, and at the end, it was a culmination of 3 of my favorite words: Adirondacks, hiking, and mountain. Adigane. I set up a logo and I hired a lawyer to complete the trademark registration. This cost me around $2,000. And this was my mistake number 3. I did not need an LLC or a trademark product to begin with. Sure, a trademark gives you access to post videos and long form content on Amazon, but when you are starting with a limited budget, the goal should have been to test your product first. There are many successful products that have no registered trademarks. They are operated by individual accounts and make a killing. So spending money on a LLC or a trademark should be an option to explore later when you have proved your product has some market. Next, I went on Alibaba and found some towel manufacturers who seem to have the best quality at a reasonable price. The thing with Alibaba is that once you place your request for a request for quote or RFQ, you are bombarded by offers from tens of vendors producing your product. I then sorted them through my specific requirement and asked them to send me samples of the product. Once I got the samples and finalized the seller, the next step was to get samples of my finished product with the brand name, the specific size, and accessories such as the magnet and the carrying case. After waiting for around 3 weeks, I finally received my sample, which was great to have as a first look of my finished product. The problem, however, was the magnet, as the US has a restriction on importing magnets from China, so I had to contact a vendor from Hong Kong who could ship it. So after reviewing the sample and hashing out any pending questions, the next thing left was to place the order. Now, I was ordering somewhere in September of 2021 with the product scheduled for delivery by mid-November. The period from September to December is classified as a high traffic period as all businesses are stocking up for the holidays. My vendor suggested a minimum order of 2,000 pieces of towels as the holidays were coming and shipping was getting pricier, like almost double of what I was paying. So if I needed more stock in December, it would cost me a premium amount, which at that time seemed like a stupid idea. Now, I was convinced that I would easily sell 1,000 pieces of my towels at Christmas alone, and another 1,000 would be stocked to carry forward for next year. And that was my big mistake number 4. Never order stuff in bulk if you have no clue what the demand would be like. Now, while the vendor was prepping for shipment, I started the advertisement requirements. basically creating a portfolio of pictures and videos of the product for customers to see. For this, I hired a local photographer and took some stunning photographs and videos of the product. The video costed a fortune and was almost unnecessary, but I wanted to ensure I was able to showcase the distinctive qualities of the product, which in my mind only a video seemed to accomplish. Now, before we get to the video, this was my another big mistake. Now, videos are expensive. While it adds to the marketing impact of the product, it's not needed if you're operating with a limited budget. It cost me $1,200 for the complete video. In the hindsight, I should have saved that money on the video to invest in marketing strategies on Amazon and via social media. So here is the video that I shot. Next, my shipment arrived at Amazon's warehouse in Texas. Now, for those who are not familiar with Amazon's business model for sellers, here is a quick overview. Amazon has two business models, FBM and FBA. FBM, or fulfillment by a merchant, is where the seller keeps the inventory at his own location and manages the shipment to customers and returns by himself. So essentially, the seller uses Amazon to list the products and get traffic. Amazon in return charges them around 15% of the sales price for each product sold. Also, seller has to pay $1 per product sold for the platform membership cost or $40 per month. Now, FBM is generally good for new store owners, but the main demerit is that you cannot offer Prime services in FBM. FBA, or fulfillment by Amazon, is where the seller sends inventory to the Amazon warehouse and they manage all the sales and returns. Now, FBA is more convenient for a seller, but it is also most expensive. In addition to the FBM cost we discussed previously, the seller also has to pay warehousing costs, which are around 15% of the cost of the product, and FBA costs, which are around 15%. So essentially, half of your sales price goes to Amazon for managing your store. The benefit it offers is that all hassles regarding shipment and returns are managed by Amazon, and you can offer Prime services to your customers. So now that you know the cost, which model do you think would be in most demand? It's FBA, even with its high prices. That's because of Prime services. Now think about it. If you have a Prime account, you generally look for stuff that gets delivered to you within the next day or two, right? So if you are a new seller with no reviews or sales, you want your store to be Prime compatible, as that will give you some boost in sales. Also, since most of your competition would be offering Prime, you want to ensure you're relevant in that competitive market space along with them. But this is not where the expenses stop. The most crucial part of running the store is getting customers. So even though Amazon has about 70 million customers shopping every day, there are thousands of sellers in each category who have established sales and reviews. If you are a new seller selling similar products, you have to somehow showcase your products to your customer over and above your competition. This means to be able to list your products on the first page of Amazon search results when a customer searches for relevant keywords. And for that, you need the help of Amazon ads. Now, Amazon ads are just like Google ads, but they run only on Amazon platform. They help new store owner get sales by helping them showcase their products in front of the relevant customers. Now, Amazon ads can be many types, such as banner ads, sponsored product ads, and so on. But the one key component is that it ensures your product gets in front of interested customers. The way it works is that you identify a list of keywords that are relevant for your product. You then place bids on those keywords. So for instance, I identified keywords quick dry towels were relevant for my product. The bid on those keywords was $2, which means anytime any customer enters the keywords quick dry towels and my product shows up and the customer clicks on it, then I get charged for it. The amount of your bid can fluctuate if two or more sellers are bidding on the same keywords. Then in that case, your bid has to be higher to ensure your listing gets priority. And this is how Amazon makes millions every minute through ads. These ads can get real expensive real fast if they are in a competitive niche. For my towel niche, it started to cost me hundreds of dollars every day if I wanted to generate sales. Since my towels were being sold at $20 each and the raw purchase price after shipment was $7, I had $13 to play with. But on each sale, I was paying Amazon almost $10, so essentially I just had $3 per product for advertisement before making a loss. And I was making a loss every day. The most revenue I generated in a day was $400, but that cost me $200 in ads, so even with a $400 sale, I was still at a loss. In order to mitigate this, I switched to social media ads like Facebook and Instagram. These ads, while cheap, don't have much impact on your sales as the platform is not designed that way. I also approached influencers to market my product, but the real good ones cost a fortune and the not so good ones don't generate any sales for you. So eventually, after trying every marketing strategy and failing, I decided to close my FBA store after 6 months. Now, I had lost $20,000 by then. I did not want to lose any more money. I then moved to FBM to try my luck without hemorrhaging on warehouse and Amazon shipment costs. I still paid $10 a day for ads and kept my store alive till 2023. But with hardly any sales and with me losing interest in the business model, I pulled all my inventory at the end of 2023 after 2 years. Now, I joined several groups to help me understand why I was not generating sales, and the common denominator came to two things. You have to have ridiculous margin levels or economies of mass sales to be able to be profitable on Amazon FBA. Most people who make good money operate on a ratio of 4x to 7x their cost price. So if someone is selling a towel at $20, their acquisition cost should be anywhere between $3 and $5. This ensures that even with the high Amazon and advertisement costs, you're still able to make a profit. Alternatively, if you have an established brand and you can generate high sales organically, then even with minimal profit per unit, your sales volume will compensate for better profits. Or second, you have a high budget and are willing to sustain losses in the short term to establish your brand and then add more products over long term, which can then make your entire portfolio profitable. This is generally done by store managers who are operating with a highly successful product in one category and then want to expand to another product category. Since I did not fall into any of the other categories, I was better off closing my store to minimize my losses. Now, people would say, Amber, you are a quitter. You quit at your first loss. You should have continued this and made more effort. Well, to answer that question, there's a difference between quitting and realizing it's not a cup of tea as you had initially thought. I went into Amazon thinking I would love creating products and the business aspect of it. But looking at my risk-taking capacity, I neither had unlimited funds nor the time to grow a brand full time. The amount of effort it requires to grow a product brand is substantial, and my current scenario did not allow me the flexibility to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like working out as that's a passion of mine, but for now, I think my passion and business don't align, and I'm okay with that. Now, what I should have done differently was to first check if the market at all existed for a product like this by joining social groups. If I got a negative response, I would know that the product would not work. But if the response was positive, then I should have worked on creating brand awareness even before the product was produced. I should have, in hindsight, created a social media account and documented my brand's journey. I should have let people get a peek of the product and offered discounted pricing to early adopters. I should have also refrained from buying in bulk or with registering my LLC or with the video shoots. There are just so many mistakes that I piled in that launch that I can't even say fit the business model. But I tried and learned from it, and now I know better. But if you are planning to start an Amazon business or have any questions on my journey, please feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will answer it. So that's it for this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.